Welcome back everyone to Alchemy Factory, and in the last episode we finally got the transformation potions set up over here and we moved up into tier 6. So let me get that HUD back on so we can see what's going on. Now for the start of this episode I'm going to change something. So first off I want to pick up a relic. And the machine's making a good amount in that relic build. So let's have a look at the relic. If I have a look at the experience amount, it's giving me 10 experience for every single Jupiter I put in there. And I can make maybe 3 Jupiters a day. A little bit more. But when you have a look at my systems over here. Healing potions, totally full. Rope, totally full. Everything up here full, and if I quickly go and have a look upstairs, let me just put on the fast walk. That's a bit better. Every one of these boxes is full up. So I am overproducing everything. So I'm going to respec to start the episode off. So let's go into our upgrade tree. And I'm going to be spending the 1,000. It's again, so it's really cheap to respec. So don't be afraid to do it. So I want to take everything out of logistics and factory efficiency. Because the one thing a lot of people do forget with factory efficiency, it also increases the amount of heat all your furnaces are using. So a 50% boost there, and I only had 3 in fuel efficiency. So I was losing 50% here and only gaining 30% here. So I've took all them out. And the reason I want to do that is now I've got 14 points. At the end here, I can increase the amount of experience I get with each relic. And I want to go... I think you can just press it like that. Yep, that's fine. I want to go all the way up to level 12. Now, I can go further. This is just infinite at the end. So I can just keep putting more and more points in there. I think that's fine. Put the 12 points in there. I've got 2 left over. I'll pull them back into heat efficiency. So it takes my belts back down to 60 per minute. But again, like I say, I'm overproducing everything. I don't need that belt speed at the moment. I would rather get this complete so I can get more experience out of a relic. And then I think the next one I want to do, we're not actually... We could put down extra builds to do the contracts, or I could build a build. But putting all this contract in here, you can get like 250%. So if I could do like 1,600 bandages here, by the time you finish off, you're doing like 6,000. So that is a good way of making a lot of money. But at the moment, money's not something I'm worried about. I've got 400,000 on me and my belts. If I go and have a look at any one of my belts, let's come and have a look down here. You'll see there's a massive amount of money, all in stacks of 3, all the way around the belt. So we don't need the money. We don't need that extra production. So if I go and pick up a relic, I've still got it on me. Now I'm getting 22 experience, not 10 per Jupiter. How many do I need for the next level up? I need 61. So if I grab 3 relics, and what I'm going to do is put a little box out in front. And I'm just going to put the relics in there. Let's put them into the machine ready. And those are backed up now. So I'll get an extra skill point pretty soon. And then I can put that. Because fertiliser is another thing. I do not need fertiliser. If you have a look at the containers over here. I've got 1, 2, 3. Nearly 4 full containers. And all that's going to happen is these machines are going to start backing up. If that backs up the mushrooms, then backs up. If the mushroom backs up, the wood backs up. And then it stops all this relic from working. So yeah, cutting down the production I think is a good thing for me to be doing. Just want to have a look what I've got in my box here. Did I do it? No. So I have got a massive amount of fertiliser here as well. I want to upgrade that to advanced. Because the basic fertiliser, just no use to us anymore. And also I want to have a look at the quests, just in case there's an urgent one. There is a couple of quests. And one of them's yeast powder. Let's see if we can get that done, because that's 105,000. For me to do that, because at the moment I've got all my yeast powder going into transformations and contracts. If I break this belt, that will allow everything to back up. There was a problem I spotted in between episodes. When we did this build, we put an extra blender on. We didn't do it on this side. So that's going to increase my soap production. Okay, got no glass. Let's go and pick some up. Yep, got plenty there. Just 100 on me is more than going to be good enough. And today we will be building a new build as well into tier 6 stuff. So let's try and build that extra blender. Game's just chucked me down into an hole at the moment. I can't actually see what I'm doing. Let's connect that belt to there and let's connect this one up to here. We do currently have 3 extractors down there, so we am actually doing too much. Because our belts are back at 60. I'm actually got this prepared for 90. So we've got a bit of surplus down the bottom there. And then all I've got to do is remember to connect up the piping. So now we're going to be getting more soap, which goes into more soap powder, which is then going to help out with more yeast. Because the mushrooms keep stopping. I think I've got a box here. Yeah, still got quite a bit of mushrooms in here. Not certain why I've got gloom spores on me. We're just waiting for the yeast to back up. That's going to take a little bit. And I think what I'm going to do is go and collect all the stuff for the other quest. Okay, I've got everything for that quest now. So let's go and turn that in. That's 33,000. Just for stuff I've got lying about. So yeah, we'll do that. And same as usual, let's just chuck our coppers in here. I've got enough silver on me. I don't need to be carrying coppers. Next thing I want to be doing is I want to go to the shop and pick up a new resource we haven't used yet. Rock salt. 9 silver each, so they're not cheap. Now I have played around with rock salt on my other save. And you don't need too much of it. You do make a lot of it really fast. And I think for the build I'm just going to do, I was going to put 6 rock salts in. I'm only going to put the 1 in. And I'll go over that in a minute. Now, there was a big update. So if we have a look in this chest here, you'll see it's all in stacks of 200. If I refresh, they can now stack up to 600s, which is a fantastic change. Let's just complete the stack I've got on me. Same with the stone. They can now stack up to 600 instead of 200. Again, fantastic changes. It was something that needed to be done. I do want to move these, so I want to cut off these portals. I'm just going to cancel its order to buy things, and then it's just going to use up the stuff that's in the system. I would want to do something with this, so I'm going to cancel all these over here, and even this. Because what I want to do is clear out this space here. This is technically not doing anything, so I need to take that down as well. Because all this is doing is purchasing charcoal, which goes into here, and then it goes nowhere. Because we don't use basic fertiliser anymore. I think I did cut the portals off. Yeah, I've already cut the portals off, and I've already told it to stop spending. But there is some salts in there. Yeah, that'll be the standard one. Okay, so let's have a look at the crusher. Do need to keep an eye on the time if I want to get that yeast powder quest done. So let's put a rock salt on there. And a rock salt will give you 10 sand a minute, and it will also give you 10 salt a minute. Now, if you think in the game, a minute is basically an hour, so that's producing 240 salt a day. I am not going to sell that much in the shop. So I'm going to get lots and lots of sand as a byproduct. So I'm going to get 10 from here. And then I can also put some standard rock crushers down, which is also going to get sand. Now, the reason I want so much sand is I want to replace this and combine it with that old build over there. So if we have a look at this machine here, to make clay, it needs sand and charcoal. Take a copy of that with me, because I'm going to go and have a look over here now. And then if we have a look at the glass, all it takes is sand. So the byproduct out of the rock salt, I can mix with some other machines, and I can combine glass, brick, and clay and also salt into the same build. So that's what I'm going to do. I do have a lot of rock salt on here, so I'm going to have a lot of stuff. But I think I want to... Let's go and have a look at that yeast and see how it's going. Because I do need to clear the machines for it to produce more. And it should be producing about 60 a minute. So yeah, as you see, it is filling up fairly fast. I think I'm going to just wait by these machines, collect this yeast. I've got about 6 hours until the day, and then we'll come back with some builds after I've got the yeast all in my inventory. One thing we can actually do at the moment is probably the basic fertiliser, what I was going to do with that. So yeah, let's quickly do that. Just wanted to clear these machines out. I'm up to 72 now. I need another 60. So over here, we've got loads of advanced fertiliser, and these mushrooms are not actually doing anything at the moment. Because I've got all this basic stuff on me at the moment, this basic fertiliser, I want to make it into advanced, and all I need to do is add a gloom spore. So what I'm going to do is put a couple of these machines here. Now, I could put priority splitters and say go into these machines first, but I'm okay with just putting 2 machines. This is only a temporary solution. Let's remove you and put your out in the same as that one. And let's change it to the inside form, and then I just want a box. And then what I'm just going to do for now is split this and tell it to come in these machines. We'll need to get basic fertiliser, won't I? Okay, so we'll just do the one machine. It's going to be so much easier. And then I'm going to put a box here. Backwards. So it doesn't link with the other box. And I'm going to just put an out in like that. And I'm going to put all my basic fertiliser in there. So all that will just get converted up to advanced fertiliser. And because I've took the efficiency out, there might be a time when I need it. Did we set the recipe? Yeah, we set the recipe. So it should start making it. And we should start seeing advanced fertiliser coming here. It's only a temporary solution. As soon as I've got rid of all the basic out of this and the builds will take down now over there, then I'll remove this. And then we'll just go back to making the gloom spores at full power. 108,000 in total. Yeah, I can't turn down quests like that. And we had plenty of time to do it. So I'm sitting on 528,000. Just having a look at my belts. Yeah, I'm still pretty healthy. When they start to back up here and here, and then they can't be produced anymore, I will turn the stacks up above the 3. But at the moment, that's fine. Okay, so we've done everything we want to do down there. Also, I did forget to mention the stack sizes also change for these as well. The nails can stack up to 600 now as well. And you always need nails in this game. So all that can be took down later. It's not doing anything at the moment. There's not burning anything in there. We want to get a furnace over there. So yeah, we'll take down the old build. So everything up until this charcoal, because the clay does need charcoal. So what we can do is feed 2 furnaces here, a furnace for glass, a furnace for brick, and then the rest of the charcoal we'll have going straight into clay production. It should be more than enough. Like I say, I can just add more efficiency if I want. So let's go and take all this down. We've got about 2 hours until the end of day. Yeah, all this is obsolete. It will give me a load of stuff in the inventory I do not want. Okay, we're just looking at the end of the day. So again, the relics, because I've been using it for experience, we didn't sell many in the shop, but we should be well and truly good with the money. Turquoise, every time you put a new product in the shop, your existing products sell less and less. So what did we make? 291, 300, 470... 468,000, something like that. And we spent 872. So yeah, we're making well and truly double the money. We're getting 82,000 from the potions, but most of our money was from contracts. And all that money we made, if you think about it, I could have contracts for most of the day as well. So we could have earned a lot more than that. And what have I got for the random quest? Just some soap and some healing potions. Let me go and get that sorted. And then we'll start on with the build. Okay, so we can turn that quest in and let's get rid of the copper off us. And then we'll go into doing this new salt build. That's fine, I don't need to dump anything else away. So how am I going to plan this build? Well, we're going to need a couple of furnaces. I think I need to split this line probably somewhere about there. Because this no longer needs to go onto the belt. If I take this off the belt, is it going to cause a problem down the line? Probably. We've got loads of charcoal here, so if I desperately need to get stuff, what is in these builds? This is fertiliser. So yeah, I will need to reorganise these belts, otherwise it's going to be a problem. Because we're no longer going to have charcoal extra out of here, it's all going to be used. And the easiest way to fix this is I do have belting across here for that reason, so I could always extend that, that's fine. I think this is actually one back further than it should have really been. No, that's fine. Let's go and get to number 5 on my belt. Let's get this line fixed before we start creating problems. So I just need this to come all the way to this plant here. And then this here can just split on the two-way. This plant down here will not take much power. And all I would need to do is connect up to them. And then I'll delete this part here. Because now this is no longer coming onto this belt. Money still needs to be running the way it is. And now we're doing a 50-50 split between the coke powder that's just sitting on a line doing nothing. And if we desperately need coke powder, I can just add another plant on the other side. Have these boxes started to clear yet? It's not filling up. That's the most thing. I do not want this to fill up because, like I said, it will stop my relic. Talking of relic, how far do we need for the next point? 22 a point. 4 of them. If I grab another 4 relics out of here. And then it'll get me some more skill points, just in case I need to add some to fuel efficiency. So the next thing with this build is I've been playing around with a new one of these stacks here. So we unlock the advanced grinders. And if you have a look at that plant, I've took it down now so I can't look at it. Like this here. For us to do a sand build, all the stone comes out, it comes up, and then I have to send it in this grinder setup and then send it further out. So I've been playing around with a setup. And I'll strip it down and show you how it works. So I've set it up so I can stack it. So this is where the portal comes in from the back. I want to strip everything off the top, just so you can see all the workings. And let's strip you off and you off. Should have a stone on me. That's fine. Add a limestone. So with this build, the stone will come out. It will do a 50-50 split. So half goes left, half goes right. Which it does there. Then underneath here, I'll just take this away just so you can see it. It comes down each side of the lift and it goes into the enhanced grinders. Put that belt back in so it goes from the centre out, and then that's the same on that side. In the centre, it will go through the enhanced grinders round the back, and then it will come out through a central platform. It's going to be a much more efficient way than what I've been doing at the moment, just for sand, and we will be using a lot of sand. So if I take away this portal and take away these 3 stands here, you'll see how it works. So each of the grinders, it will come out. Okay, I've just got to wait for the stone to come. Sand comes out the grinders, comes across into the middle, and same on the other side. So this build has one output, and it's already been confirmed to sand. It is slightly wider. Actually, no, I don't think it's any wider than that. It's just a bit efficient. It would be taller slightly, though. That's fine. So yeah, that's a build I'm going to be using. And one of the machines I'm going to put on a stone crusher. Now, I find brick to be a lot faster at making than glass. Glass has always been the one that's been a bit slow. So how do I want to set up this? I think just something as simple as this. 2 of these here. And because we need charcoal to make clay, this machine here, I think just putting this here would be perfect. So the charcoal goes into all the furnaces it needs first, and whatever's left over comes into clay production. And then we just got to get sand in, which we can just easily belt in sand from the front. And then I would need an output. So we'll do something like that now. So sand would come in this side here and then go into the machine. And then we'll have an output here, which is going to be the clay. When the clay's done, it can go into... I think it's a kiln we need for this. And we want the output to be on the far side, so let's rotate it. Let's make sure this is the right one. Yeah, this does glass and bricks. So this one here we'll have set up as bricks because it's coming from this machine straight up. And then we'll set up one here. This time this one will be for glass. And this one only needs sanding. So we'd have to have a sand input into here and a sand input into here. And then this has just got to go into this machine. Maybe something as simple as that. Put a lift from the bottom here, going straight up into the machine. And then as soon as we plug into the sand to this build, that's complete. I've got enough room here to put a couple of triple stacks with these things here. The only difference between this, for the rock salt, it would have to have a filter splitter on the front. Otherwise, I'm going to have the salt trying to go through grinders and it'll just block up the system. So yeah, let's take both these down. Now, glass is going to be on the far side, so I think I want a normal triple stack in the back. Do I? Yeah, we'll do with that. So let's cut that, tidy up the belt, and I don't need this anymore because I've already got that into place. Are you still buying stuff or did I cut you off? No, you're still buying logs. That's absolutely fine. We could also block up these, but it's fine. I've got enough charcoal on the belts. I'll just allow charcoal to go in. Double stack just in case there's a problem. It's going to have a little bit of extra sitting on itself. And let's just clear some of this out my inventory. So we just need to deal with the triple stacks now. So that blueprint I just showed you, I've got a triple version of it. So let's just build that. We've got enough on us. We'll have the 3 inputs on the back. That is going to be for the... Let's just put it down. Then we can see. So we've got 3 inputs on here. What's this for? Let me just remind myself. One side's got the portal on, which is that. The portal's one here. So these 3 connect up to a money belt. And this, and this. Let's clear everything off the front. So we just have to thread the sand out of the centre one down. But it might be better to do that when it's in place. So this is just as simple as that. I can just plug that onto the back belt. We could even bring up the money underneath here. And then just plug this onto the back of this line. Or I could leave a space. It depends on how much I need to do filtering out this side. No, I think just having a single belt here will work. So I'm just going to build another one of them over here. And then I've got to change that bottom setup to have a filter on. Or come and put the filter on the top. It might be easier having the filter. Would be easier having it on the bottom. But I would need to change the way the belting is. I don't technically need to change. Take the grinders out. I've just got to bypass the grinders. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's build another one. Just need to pick up a little bit of wood. And I probably will take the stuff off the top because I won't need them. Just cut a bit of resources down. And then this side here on the back is what plugs into the belt. So it's probably easier for me to do it from this side. Now I did just see that is the wrong way on the blueprint. So as you see, money's going in that one. It's going in this one. But this one's not because it's backwards. I've got an error in my blueprint I will have to fix. So this one was coming up to this level. Is that correct? Yeah, the top one's going up to there. That's going up to there. Have I told them to purchase anything is my next thing? No. I do like setting my blueprints up where I don't tell it to purchase stuff. Okay, we're just coming up to the end of day report. I'm just having a little bit of a play around with that one to try and get the filter splitter in the best position. So I'll bring you back in a second to that build. I just need to do a bit of tidying up. So 259,000, much less than the day before. We didn't do many gloam spores, but we are stealing some of the mushrooms just to make that basic into advanced fertiliser. So that will be fixed pretty soon. And we spent 107. We're still making a profit even though I've cut off most of the portals. Let's go and have a look at the quest and I'll come back and show you this in a minute. So again, you want to get your quests early in the day just in case you've got an urgent. So I just need some bricks and some yeast powder and a lot of steel gears. We are struggling with that, so I might need to work on upgrading the steel gears in that build pretty soon. But let me go and get the items, and 52,000 we can get for this. Okay, I've just had to cut the yeast powder off again, or the gloom fungus, just to build up the yeast powder. We've currently got about 600 more basic fertiliser to convert over. And we've got a good amount of the advanced stuff we'll throw into the system. Let's have a quick look at how the advanced is, because we took all the points out of this. It is going down slightly, but that's fine. As soon as we get down to one box, I will put some points in it. Okay, I'll fix the build now. So the top one's going back to making the sand out the middle. And then the bottom one is the one I want to change. We're going to have the filter splitter on it. It's going to be so much easier to do the belting. I have definitely made this a lot more complicated trying to use the builds I've currently got and try and jerry-rig them. Yeah, filter splitter, want salt out the top still, that's absolutely fine. I want to make sure sand's coming out this bottom belt. Yeah, sand's come out there, so the next one coming out should be salt. If I put a single belt there, yeah, that's coming out where I want it to. So now we've got sand in the system. We've got to get the sand out of this centre line. But that shouldn't link onto that. Stone should be going into here. So yeah, copying these, the belting just got messed up. There should only be the centre one coming out. Yeah. For some reason it's messed up all my belts and I'm not certain why. That means I'm going to have to fix the top as well. So yeah, this is the only one I need to get down with sand. I need to make sure this is coming out this side. So let's just clear it out the way at the moment. Something like that would be fine. Let's come back one, because that's where the next build will start, and then I've got to figure out getting this over. Easiest way would be blocks up, bring it down. Bring it down here and here would be good, but then I would need to change this to... Yeah. I think it could work. I might need to change this. Yeah, that will work. Okay. So what I need to do is get that sand down. So we'll just get down at this point. Bring it forward. And then all I've got to do is belt up the centre. And then this line here should be able to just combine with that. That will get my output done. And then I can go back to having the stand which I did for the salt. That side's complete. And then I can bring the other one down on this platform. Put an extra one here. And then all the sand will converge. Which we'll do the same here. We've just done for the other. So coming out the front. And then we want you to come up to the line with the sand. Actually, no. Because I need to fix the belting because it's all got messed up. Can I actually get up there to do the belting? Yeah, these shouldn't be linked like that. That should be going into there. And then the other side should be the same. Okay, that was an easy fix. And then let's just fix the top belt, left and right. So we should see sand coming out the middle. Perfect. You are trying to turn for some reason. I don't know why it wants to do that. Yeah, straightforward. That's perfect. All the belts are not linking. Okay, coming out the front and then go up to the level which is there. And then all I've got to do is a center one to link these up to the two lifts. And I think I'm happy with just using blocks. Yeah, I want you to go into there. So now sand's coming down and then joining this one central line, which then comes into this machine here. And you will work. And I've just got them loaded up with a load of rock salt at the moment until I can clear my backlog out. Do need to fix that belt in there with the salt. And then we just need to do the other centre. So, got to have a small stand here. And then we just put a bunch of blocks. Fortunately, the game doesn't like you to build above you, so I need to get up. And then let's connect you to the lift. Why don't you want to go in there? There, perfect. Yeah, rock's all going in where it should. Sand's coming out where it should. And then this sand should be able to just be combined. So all the sand's coming on there. Because 10 rock salt's coming out a minute, this is only going to be a 50 line. A 50 line into here would mean you have to have 25 charcoal, and I've got plenty on the system. And if I did want to use that charcoal over the coke powder, I could just add a filter splitter on the start here and say, and put a filter splitter here and say any charcoal that's not going into here, then send it down this way just so it's not wasted. But I'll have very little wasted because I've got a good amount of sand coming through. It looks like a full line at the moment. It's only because of the backup. Soon when this one gets running, yeah, you'll get the gaps. Every 5 you will have a gap where the salt's coming out. That's fine. So now we've actually got bricks being made. And then we just deal with the outputs at the very end. So only thing I need now is another stack like this. And this is just going to be pure sand to go into the glass build. Going to be a much simpler system. Just got to figure out where my inputs and outputs are. think you're broke, so we need to fix you up. You should be taking it in at the bottom, then coming up to it here. So yeah, let's cut you up. Plug you into place. And now we've got a fish up one, and all we've got to deal with is getting this up to the shop. Let's cut you. And I pressed the wrong button, so good job you can restore blueprints. So I want the inputs to be this side here, and the outputs to be over here. And I just need to make sure this goes in the right place. And I just match the two walls together, and I know that's right. And if I look round the back, all I've got to do is connect that money belt, and then we should see money going into all three of these. Just make sure it's working before I move on the other side. Yep, money's going into all three. That will feed the machines. None of it should be asking to purchase anything. Okay, all that's been loaded up with rocks. Sand's going into here still. It's just backing up the sand into here. And then we just deal with the outputs on the other side. So we know that salt line has to come over here. And we have 3 sand inputs that has to come into here. This is going to be a full 60 line. So I want to be as efficient as possible. Might just converge it just at the top here. So where would be the best way to do that? Could just go with the furthest belt into something like that. These two are going to converge if I do that. That has to be there. Doesn't matter if they converge. Yeah, well, converge them on the floor. Wasn't planning on doing that. In the wrong position. Bring you to here. And I want you to go straight into the machine. Let me just do that. So now glass is going to be running at full efficiency. I've got a bit of sand on me. I just want to get rid of it. And now we're making glass at full efficiency. A full belt of 60 is only going to be 10 glass a minute, but that's more than enough to keep the shop going and what I need. Okay, I've got everything for that quest, so let's go and quickly turn that one in. Another 52,000. And again, this is just stuff I've got sitting in boxes, so better to make some money from them. Do have quite a bit of sand in here. I'm not going to need this for anything else. Now, because this back line is not running efficient, what I could easily do is just put a box here. Feed this extra stand onto the line. I want the other formation. And I could just fill that out with sand. It's just going to get used then. Supplement the build. So now we have got glass being made, bricks being made, and we just got to get that salt line over. So let's get that salt line out now before I forget about it. And we can just go with the bigger version of the stands, keep it on the same level. And we'll bring you out just up to there at the moment. So that back line will not be running efficient at the moment until I can get this salt. Now, salt into the shop is going to be fairly easy. Put a cannon here. Maybe put 3 cannons here to shoot them up. And then we'll put them on this side of the build. Because I do want some salt going into a box or something pretty soon. Do I want to set that up now? What I could also do is put a priority splitter on it. Same as I've done on the other builds down the bottom. Priority split the stuff going to a cannon to the shop. And then anything that's left over. If we have a look in our research tree. Go down to the tier 6. We have this relic here. It just needs salt, brick and clay. I could put a priority splitter on every one of these to go to the shop. And then whatever's left can just go into a relic build here. Yep, think I'm going to do that. Okay, we've got the end of the day report, and because we're using only the rock salt, we shouldn't have a massive amount of cost in buying the rock salts. So 224,000, we're spending out 133, so yeah, that's fine. It will cost more once I've got rid of all my backlog of stone and stuff. But at the moment, this is going to go until I can get the outputs done. Let's go and have a look at the quest before we do any of that. And we do have an urgent quest, so it just needs 60 turquoise, 34,000, which is double the price, 200% the market price. So let's go and get that sorted. Okay, another 34,000. And then we get the day to do the building before we have to look at quests again. So let's get all my copper in the box like I normally do. Give it a quick shuffle. A lot of sage seeds and flax seeds have been accruing by taking builds down. And I've still got this to take down. And now we can take this down. What I've done is just cut all the portals for both this. So it will get rid of like all the wood on the machines and all the stone in the things before I can transfer it over. How is the build doing over here with the extra mushrooms? I am going to have to take that other thing down before I do this. Yep, still got about 400 to do. Lots of advanced fertiliser there. I won't move the advanced fertiliser out until all this is done. We do want to do something with this wood. That's going to be an easy fix. I'll get that after I finish doing the outputs for this glass and brick and set up the relic on this side. Now, we've done the quest for the day. I'll wait just in case I don't get all this done in a day. So what do we need to do? Well, the easiest thing would have been this to be back one. Because then it would have been much easier to get the outputs out. Okay, I can still work with it. So let's go into the smaller stands. Smaller stands, I think from the back first would be the easiest. Bring you down at this level here. From that machine. And then the glass can just go over the top. So you come out here. So that is going to be the bricks. We will want to get it onto the floor. Where would I want it? Yeah, the front's fine. And then we've got to go up another tier just to link it. And then we've got to get the glass out, so we can just put a couple of stands here. And then we can bring down the glass right next to it here. The outputs was always going to be easy to deal with, so now we've got glass and brick. We want to get these up into the shop, and we want to get the salt into the shop as soon as possible before it starts appearing on quests. So what have we got up here? We've got these two lines. Let's just see how they're still... Yeah, it's barely backing up, so I've definitely got to improve the gears. Nails will stop soon, but the iron doesn't affect the steel. Let's just have a look what the issue is with the steel. So steel is made down here. It's just very slow to make. We are currently putting iron into the box. I could remove that box, but it would break everything. What's in this here? That is still coming down, and then it's split. So what I'm going to do is take that belt off. That will allow more stuff to go into the machine. I don't need any more steel than what I've got there at the moment. To be quite honest, I think just one stack of steel on me and one in there would be good. So some of this I'm going to put into a box. So I'm going to change this slightly. Because I think what I want to do is get two of these. Where do you plug in? You plugged in there into this one. Yeah, that's fine. What was the other one doing? Use the iron. Going to set up two of these machines. Put you on the outside, put you on the inside, and then it will just double up my steel production without me having to create anything else. And yet you can connect into that machine there. So that belt's no longer needed. And if we do... Oh, okay, I took the wrong machine. I'm trying to get that belt from underneath. Just, I want to get this sorted before it becomes a problem. Just make sure all the machines are working. Yep, the belt is still clear because we've got all the priority splitters at the back working what they should be in priority mergers. It's just very slow to do this. And it's barely using this fuel up. I think I'm going to start taking the stone blockers I have. Just so I can have the 2 stacks in all these. Don't think there's any more furnaces on this build, was that? No, there's none on the back. So at least we've doubled up the steel production. I think there is an issue with the belt in there. It's not joined where it should have joined. Try and connect you into the cannon a bit better. See if that works. Yeah, it's going into the cannon. It's firing now. So the outputs are fixed. And the already set up for the steel. And we'll just put a little box here and we'll feed all the extra steel I've accrued onto the system at the moment. We will have to upgrade how fast we're doing these very soon. Just for now, I want to put a full stack there. Give it a quick... And we'll send the 118 in as well. Hopefully I don't back up the system. If I do, I'll just take that box away. But that's going to allow these to run at 7.6 a minute instead of 3.8. It'll allow me to get a bit of a stockpile up the top. Okay, so we want to build our next system up here. So that's going to be one of you. We just do one at a time. Probably try to get salt in next. So we need to figure out what we've got free. So it looks like this one here is not being used for anything. Add wooden pulley. Didn't we have wooden pulley over this side now? Yeah, we've got wooden pulley here. So yeah, that one's definitely an empty container. That has glass from the back. But we are going to put the glass upstairs now. So yeah, we can set you as a basic one. And the bricks that's currently here, we'll have them upstairs now as well. But none of these are really being used, so I'm just going to get rid of them all. And then I'm just going to change the goods on here. I just always change it to mortar if I'm doing nothing with it. So I've got 4 shelves there and 2 shelves here. But if I move the cabinet over... Oh, we've got one at the back here. So we've got plenty of free spaces. Let's get that cannon set up, which it has. And we'll go to that far space. Because you have this issue where they don't go too close down. So yeah, these here going this side and them over there going this side is the better way. So yeah, you can go into there. Let's get the belt threaded up ready. So this one is going to be for salt. Yep, salt. We'll get that one done first. So these cannons can only get 2.5 squares, so we'll have to have a bridge in between. Which I'm thinking a couple of cannons down here might work. All in a nice, neat line. And this is why I wanted to get the gears done, because each of these cannons do take gears, which I do need. Which I've only got enough to do one at the moment. And I need cannons there, so I need to go and clear the box. We do have some gears on the belt if we're desperate. But that should really help that system down there now. And we just need to get you onto the floor. No, I don't want to delete all that. I just wanted to delete this last stand, not the floor. Okay, let's bring you onto the floor at this point here. Make sure you don't converge with any other belts. Then we want you to go into the priority splitter. bottom belt, which will be the priority. We'll take you out a little bit, and then we'll put you onto a cannon here. Could belt it all the way there. I just want to make it look tidy. Get one belt into the back. I think I want to put you out one, because I might be able to get nice 3 cannons here, shooting into 3 cannons over here. And in that case, I might as well go to the furthest. No, that's fine. We'll stick with the inside. So let's put you into the cannon. Get you up to this inside here. And then we'll set you to that one there. So that should now start getting assault in the shop. Our reputation is still at 100. And that should be more than enough salt to keep the shop going. Now, I do have some salt on me, so I might as well just get rid of it. Don't need to carry it. And if I ever need any for quests, there's going to be a good box up here for me to take from. Okay, let's put the next system in. And the next cannon. And it doesn't matter if it's glass or brick with this one. And where we're going to be putting you, we might as well just stick to the same side. We've got a shelf there. Let's go into that one. Which one do I want to do? Well, glass is the closest, so we'll do glass. Just make sure I've got nothing sitting in a box over here. Yeah, I have. Don't want massive stacks of glass and stuff in the box. I want to keep it into the shop. So that's salt, which is now filled up in the shop, so it'll start backing up. 122 glass on me is more than enough. We need to get a priority splitters on each of these, saying that. Because if we want the excess to be going into, say, a relic build, like I'm planning to do. Not going to be an efficient way to do the relic, but it's going to be a way just to keep us started. And thread the brick into the next one as well. We might as well do it while I'm here. And then anything on the output on the top we'll have going into a relic. So we'll have 1, 2, 3. Would have helped if I had that straight, but there's no way I can do it with the space I've left myself. That's fine. Bricks have started to move. So now salt started to move again. That's fine. Let's get these in the shop. So we need a little one of you there and there. This is glass. We'll put you in the next one. And we'll put bricks into the last one. And I didn't put the things on the top, so let's go and set that up. Okay, so we have got the glass one set up. Let's get that one done so I don't confuse myself. So glass was from this one here. Going into the second. I want you to go up to the top there. So let's go back upstairs, fill up the box with bricks first. Before putting the new systems into it. Yep, all the brick there. 143 has been more than enough. And that's filled up with glass. And if we ever do struggle for like the relic, what I want to build, we like salt. That's an easy fix, just to change one of the stone producers into rock salt. And let's put the brick where it initially was there. So I've got room for one more on that side. And the salt is nearly backed up to the box now. Bricks. I think I set up you, but I didn't set up this one. So let's set up you to the last one. And that's keeping all that running. So the next thing I want to be doing is I want to unlock this relic. And again, this is not going to be an efficient build. I do think I need another salt on here, looking at how far the salt hasn't backed up yet. still got to fill the box up upstairs with 200. Do I want to change that now? I think I do, because if a quest asks for salt, I'm not going to have enough. Let's make a little alteration here. Let's take you away as well. Otherwise, I'm going to have some problems if I don't fix this. I could make this a lot easier by changing the top one. It would be last changing, and then all I've got to do is link that down and put a filter splitter somewhere here instead. In that space. Sorry, a priority splitter. Then I can thread that back to there. Yeah, that's going to be the easier way. Put you into there. Put that belt back in. Which is the one to go upstairs. That will be you. Let me just tidy up this build. Okay, I've stripped the top machine back. And just for now, I'm just going to be doing this. So I just want a couple of blocks. And then we need to get the filter splitter on here. I mean, I could probably turn the filter splitter this way. No, because I would have to get the... I've still got to get the sand here. So no, we'll just do it out the front. And it has to be the filter splitter. That's connected to the machine, and we'll do the same as we did last time. Get the sand out the bottom. So that means I want a filter for salt. So I need an extra column here. That's not too hard to do. The sand at the bottom is still coming out, so that can get connected up as it is. This one's still coming in, so that can be connected up as it is as well. So the sand is still going into the glass in them two lines, and then I've just got to get this line down. So if we put a stand at the bottom, single tier, then we'll go up to the bigger versions. Okay, not a bad day. We didn't sell any salt because I didn't set it up until after the shop closed. I need to fix my gloom spores because I did cut it when I needed the yeast powder. So I need to fix that. Still making 274,000, spent out 145. So still great. I'll have a look at the quest in a minute. I want to get this finished first. So Sandy's going down and joining the belt with the other stuff. Until the glass and bricks got somewhere to go, that's fine. This salt come down to where... Came down to this line, converged onto here. So all I've got to do is join this to the bottom. And then we should have doubled the salt production. Yeah, I can see the salt coming out there. And I can see the lifts moving, so I know it's working right. And I can see the salt coming in there. It's only coming out at 20 a minute. So as soon as I've got rid of the backlog, it will all start. Yeah, you'll see there's gaps in the belt now. So as soon as I've got rid of the backlog, these will more than cope with the 20 a minute. And then we can just have some stands coming from this. Come up to there and go like that. And this is going to be the priority when the salt in the shop is full. So bottom's priority going into the shop, and then this is second priority. So then all I've got to do is drop down a shaper. Anything I've got extra comes into this build now. And this is not going to be producing at any sort of speed. This is going to be extremely slow. But it's going to be extremely profitable to be done. There, I can never find the shapers. So all I need to do is connect the brick at the top tier here and the brick at this tier here. So I might as well just put it up. So let's just grab some of you. I think it's 3x3. Might need another space out. I'm doing nothing with this space here, so it's fine. We'll just need a couple of stands like that. And now if we put these belts out, it should start the sand production started again, because now it's going to be using glass and brick. But that tells me the shop's totally full. Let's try and find that shaper again. Where would I want? I need the output like that. And we only need 3 outputs. That would work perfect. But until the shop's full up with salt, this won't really start making a relic. And then we can just set it up as a Saturn. And the difference is this one here gives 22 experience. This will give 157. And that's where we start getting the points really fast. But I will keep 2 in a box just in case we have a quest asking for Saturns, because now we've got it unlocked. That is going to be a thing. And I've just got to wait for the salt to back up. But yeah, nice and spaced out on the belt. We'll have a look at the boxes upstairs. And just for now, we'll put a little box onto that side. In that form. So yeah, nice little simple shop build. Everything that doesn't go into the shop at least gets used for something else. And then the only 2 things I need to do is, because the top is rock salt, I need to get that portal back on. Just need to get some belting in on the back here. And yeah, I did make this a lot harder than it needed to be. And we're going to tell you to start buying rock salt. But none of the others are going to be told to buy anything. Did I block it up? Yeah, I blocked up the slot. And I need to do the same rock salt down the bottom here, because this will run out pretty quick, which it has. Already been blocked up. And then we tell you to buy rock salt. And that will keep the salt coming out this side, which it started again. And now we're using the brick and glass soon. All this will start going in motion again. Charcoal powder has gone down a bit. Why has that gone down? That should be more than enough. But again, I could put more heat efficiency. Might need another point in heat efficiency, just so that this doesn't back up. It's still got enough. Just watch it a second. Sticking around 8. Using the next one, it's going down to 6. If it goes down to 0. No, it's going back up to 7, 8. I need 1 more in heat efficiency, and I think that it fixes that problem. So let's go to our menu. We should have some points because we've been dumping stuff in. Yeah, we'll go back up to 3. That should keep this running. I want to keep this fully running at 100%. If the sand's a problem, that's fine. But if the charcoal's a problem, that's just going to slow everything else down. Got some limestones on me, so there's probably some stuff. Yeah. Let me go and fill these up with limestone out of the boxes, and then we'll continue. Okay, I've tidied up that, and I've kept all the rocks moving at the moment until I can get rid of that backlog. Just having a look at the salt up here. Yeah, we've already got 120 salt up here. That will get up to 200, and then all the salt will go into the relic. And then we'll have a look at the numbers. Maybe there's a thing there I need to change that over to doing salt as well. But at the moment, that will start soon. And the only problem I've got to be careful of is that the sand doesn't block up this machine. So I think just for now, just to keep things moving, I'm going to put a box in here as a buffer. We shouldn't ever need it. But that just makes sure that nothing's getting blocked on this side because of sand. Don't know if I've got anywhere on the other side to be able to do that same thing. Sand's going into here from this point. Not really space to do a buffer thing in there. We could just put a box down there to accept some of the sand in. Because this does look as if it's sort of jammed up. Let's clear that just to make sure this belt's working. Yeah, it is working. I think what I'll do for now is just take a little bit of glass on me. It will allow some of the glass to be used, or some of the sand to be used. Just need the salt to back up as soon as it's backed up. Shouldn't be that bad. These should be equal amounts. This is making 10 a minute. This is making 10 a minute. And we're actually making 20 salt. So, yeah, the salt should never be a problem. And then it gives me a bit to do quests with as well. But, yeah, we'll leave that as it is. I'm happy with that system. Let's have a look at the random quest. Oh, it's a Jupiter. It hasn't got the new relic on. I thought it might have. And it needs 160 salt. That means yet more salt upstairs got to be cleared. Talking of Jupiter relics. Let's see how we're doing with our next points. How many do we need? Getting 20 from each one. So I actually need to put 5 in here. Oh, funny enough, I have got 5 here. Get me another point just in case I need it. Okay, that 5 will do it in its own time. Yeah, 66,000. Let's go and check on the steel gears upstairs, see if the problem fixed itself with that second machine. Yeah, 175. So now we haven't got to rebuild it, because I was thinking about putting another steel plant on there, but I don't need to do that. Let's make sure the machine hasn't backed up, because we did say we had to keep an eye on that. Nope, still flowing. The machines have still got theirs, and this box has still got 128 in there. But yeah, if this started to back up, then we would have issues. But it's not, so I'm happy with that at the moment. So where would we be going next on our thing? So we have got some points, we'll keep them. I do want to have a quick look at the charcoal over here. Is that looking a lot better? Is this clay machine having the full 20 charcoal? It is. So that efficiency really did help out. And this box will back up, but that's fine. We just want to keep that salt moving. It's just a shame I can't get a box on it here easy. I could put a box here with salt, with sand. Just a small one. But I can see the full amount of salt gaining through. I think what I'll do is just come over here and clear the glass out there just for a little bit. An easy way to fix this, just as a temporary solution so it doesn't back up, is take 200 glass out of here. And then that will allow that first machine to keep running. And then we'll feed this glass into a relic or something later. Okay, so let's have a look at our research. So we want to go into... Well, we'll just unlock that. It's just... What costs 12 silver? I'm sitting on 800. So I didn't need to worry about that. Coming up towards the end of the day, we'll do that in a minute. Malachite would need this. So everything needs copper powder. So I think for now, what I'm going to do is just do the quest for the day. And then we'll call it an episode then. And then the next time we'll start fresh on copper powder. But I don't want to unlock it until the day's ends. Okay, we're just looking at the day report for day 67. We did sell 3 relics on this day. The salt's the interesting one I want to look at. Because we had salt going into the shop all day, only 20 sold. Now, we're currently doing 20 a minute from the 2 rock crushers we've got going. That's going to be 480 a day we make. Because it's 24 times 20. So if we're only selling 20, that means there's like 400 that can go into a relic build. So yeah, that will start speeding up that relic, no end. What did we get? 346,000. We spent out 189. And we did buy 6 rock salts for 54. So yeah, even with the rock salt spending, we're doing really good. So let's have a look at this quest. Is it something I can do? Ooh, 480. So again, it's going to take a little bit to get that with the setup I've got. We've just said we can do 480 in a day. So I've got definitely, and it is an urgent quest. That is paying 200. But that's something I'm going to have to do in the next episode. But I think I'm going to call it there for that one. Hopefully you are enjoying these videos. Definitely a game I love playing. This one is definitely a breath of fresh air. Probably other games of this kind. I do want to go back to Mine Mogul at some point. They did go into full early access on the demo and it is looking good. But at the moment I want to finish this series before I start doing another sort of factory automation game on the channel. Hopefully you're enjoying it and I'll be seeing you again soon. Thank you very much everybody for watching.